So, yeah, specifically, what I got, what. Okay, so let me re-explain, re-show. I might be able to get Thumbcraft working with DDD. It's gonna require a bit of stuff. But I might be able to get it to work. So, for starters, if you don't have the bit of extra juice that you need to get this to work, it should. I tested this yesterday. It worked yesterday. Little thing will pop up. What little thing? A little nice little thing. I got a little screen that'll pop up. Just wait for it to finish loading. Apparently, it's gonna take a long time. Why is it taking so long? There we go. Anyway, so this is what would show up. It'd say that like Thumbcraft requires Fermium Booter to integrate with DDD properly, and then you can either disable the Thumbcraft integration entirely in DDD's config, and then if you do, these mods may not work very well together. And then you can go to title or close the game. Now, you can have this. I think I don't know if I actually fully set that up correctly, but basically, I'm just gonna quickly double check. Where's the Thumbcraft thing? So the Thumbcraft, it extends this other thing, which is an iMod integration, where it like I think we also need to check to see if it's enabled. Because if it's not enabled, then it shouldn't do, right? This is to run, this is to enqueue the Mixin if this is enabled. So I think I also need to check if it's enabled. Then this is kind of pointless. Because if it's not enabled, I don't want this to, like, do anything. But this should only enqueue the Mixin if it is enabled. Only if it's enabled. Only if it's enabled and we don't have Fermium Booter. If we're enabled and we have Fermium Booter, then we don't do this. If we're enabled and we don't have a Fermium Booter. So what Fermium Booter does is Fermium Booter actually allows me to load mixins later than when they're normally loaded, which actually allows me to mix into modded classes, which is exactly what I'd need to do for Thumbcraft. But I need it to only do this if it's enabled. For this, I need a specific flag to turn it on and off, because if you have Thumbcraft and DDD, but you don't want to use Fermium Booter, you shouldn't be barred out of using it, right? It's just the integration won't work unless you have Fermium Booter so they can mix in. So that's what I had spent the last couple days working on. I added some stuff for Fermium Booter so that it can recognize, so that DDD can recognize it. And now what I'm hoping, so the reason that it didn't work that time is because the thing that I had didn't have Fermium Booter installed. The profile that I had didn't have Fermium Booter. So what I'm hoping is that when I add Fermium Booter, it will add a mixin, because I'm going to have a specific mixin file. The specific mixin file is going to be mixin.ddd.thumbcraft.json, and then it will add that, and then that's going to have this mixin focus engine, right? Yeah, it's mixin focus engine. And so I can mix into this, where I can then look at the focus package to determine what is like what the spell has, basically, in terms of some of its nodes. I can figure that out. And then we can do some fancy stuff. That's sort of the idea. That's what I'm hoping can work. But we're gonna have to find out. We're gonna have to find out. So the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to add to this profile instance Fermium Booter. I could have tried to have kind of an internal kind of thing to load early and late mixins the way Fermium Booter does, but I feel like that's an excessive amount of overkill. I'm aware of Fermium Booter's existence. I might as well just use it. So that's what we're doing. What was normally here? Oh, this was, yeah, okay. So we have Fermium Booter now. I mean, the jar builds, so I assume it works, but if this doesn't work, then I don't know what to do. Well, if this doesn't actually work the way I'm trying to get it to work, then I've got like no ideas left. I've got nothing. Let me go and add this fully updated version into the profile. And now run the thing. Now, hopefully, we shouldn't get a error. Or we shouldn't get that screen popping up now. That's the idea. If the screen still pops up, then there is a problem. I did not mean to do that. I hope this works. Dang it! That's not supposed to do that. Because it's supposed to say that we have Thumbcraft. Or sorry, that we have Fermium Booter. Unless this didn't initialize itself properly. Properly. Oh, I might not have initialized that properly. Wait, no, I should have. Uh-huh. I don't think it would have fully loaded the integration then. Let me check. It should say, DDD should say it failed to load integration with the following mods. It did say that, but it did not say which ones. Why? Unless it did. No, it didn't. Okay, first off, what is this? What implementations do I have of this? This is for Huela. Right, and that makes sense. I think that was the only implementation of it, right? Yeah, it was. I don't need this. This is not. This does not work. But why did this not work? So this filter if unsuccessful, remove if partial apply predicate. UP. Okay, so it returns false. Oh, right. This is backwards. This should be found mods dot stream dot map to that filter loaded mods contains. This is backwards. Found mods is a string, right? Found mods is a string. Integration loaded. Where is this used? How do I do this? I need to do this differently. Out of the loaded mods, I guess what I want to do is of the loaded mods, check if I guess do this first, actually. Loaded mods stream, get the mod ID, filter found mods that contains for each integration loaded add. Because this means that the integration was loaded. And then if the found mods equals the loaded mods, right? If this is larger, then what we're gonna do is we're going to do found mods dot stream dot filter do I have hold on I might be making this way more complicated than it needs to be. It wouldn't surprise me. Do I have set minus here? I should, right? Yeah, I have set minus right here. So just do found mods set minus. It returns a new set, right? Yeah, it returns a new set. What's the difference? Set difference. Specifically, this returns a new set. A set that is a set difference of A and B. Creates a new hash set. B for each result remove. A contains and not B contains. Isn't that the same thing? These are just... Iterate over A, removing elements from result won't cause problems by removing during iteration. Wait, where is this used? Why do I have multiples of these? This makes no sense. Open call hierarchy for this. I'm risk calling set minus. Nothing calls set minus. What about set difference? You call set difference. Set minus, you don't need to exist. Bye. Right? Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why that there were two of those. Set difference. So we're going to take the found mods and take out all the integration loaded mods. And then from that set, we will stream. Actually, I don't even need a stream. I can just for each. No, I probably want to stream. Yeah. Stream string dot format %s get title from ID s and then pass an s and then for each. Oh, I didn't even. What do you mean? This is a set. In the type collection. No, it's not a collection. It's a set. It's a set. I said stream. Oh, wait, I'm dumb. Dot map. There we go. Whoops, I get it now. That makes sense. And then it says it fails to integrate with the following mods, and then it just puts this. Okay, good. Now, why is that doing what it's doing? Because this adds it to loaded mods. I have Fermium right here. Is my Fermium ID incorrect? Good question. Did it find Fermium Booter? Because it might not have. And I could see that being the problem. No, it found Fermium Booter. It found it. It found it, so then it adds it to found mods, and then it gets this thing. And there's no problem with it. And loaded mods, it should contain this thing. It should contain this. Because I need to integrate it. I need to enable it separately. Unless I have like an on-load thing, but even still, it doesn't matter. It should be able to check if it contains the instance, because it gets it, which is the instance, and it is the same thing. Because this is a singleton thing. So... Oh, wait. Wait, is this... This is not right. I need that. So that I can actually assign it. Huh? Code templates. There we go. Okay. No, fine. Just properties here. Okay, no, not properties there. Preferences, probably. Here we are. Here we are. Yeah, no. Edit, dude. Edit it. Equals that. Do that. Okay, apply and close. So now it should say... Now it actually assigns it. Okay, so that was the problem here. So there's two things I want to do right now. Actually, no, idea. Build it again. Disable Fermium booter. Check to see if it says the same thing, if it actually correctly declares that it didn't load it correctly. Then re-enable Fermium booter. Try again. I can't believe that bit of code has been sitting in DDD for so long and it just didn't work. But then again, not many integrations had a chance to not work correctly, so it was fine. So it works out. It all works out in the end. Okay, so this finished. Now load this in here. And now load... Wait. First, re-disable Fermium booter. Turn it off. And then do it again. It'll say that it won't work. Then we close the game. And then we go back, we re-enable it, we relaunch the game, and then everything works, hopefully. And it should register the Mixins. That's what I'm hoping happens. Okay, so it says it found Thumbcraft, but obviously did not find Fermium Booter because Fermium Booter is disabled right now, which is fine. Okay, it's working. It's working. Yeah, DDD failed to load integrations with the following mods, and then it lists Thumbcraft. Good. That's what we want. Now, where is Fermium Booter? Now turn it back on. And now it says that it doesn't work. So now I can click close game, and that just straight up closes the game. And now I can launch it again, and now we can verify that it works correctly. It should take me to the title screen. It shouldn't complain about anything. That is catching. What are you catching? My game crashed. Why? Null pointer on the Fermium registry in queue. Why is there a null pointer? What did I null point? What did I null point here? What line? Line 74. What? Late Mixins. It exists. Yeah, it literally said this, and then it crashed. What? Huh. How is this? How is this broken? I'm gonna look at the actual source just in case the line numbers don't line up. They might not. Oh wait, I have an idea. Actually, no, I don't have an idea. No, it does line up. Do I need to enable it somehow? No, that seems right. This seems fine. What just happened? How is this a null pointer? This makes no sense. It can't be. It can't be. The only things that could be null pointer is that this is null. Why would this be null? This wouldn't be null. It's set to be a new hash map. When is this called? I need to know when this is called. Because that's gonna be it, right? Oh, yeah, that needs to be done earlier. I need to do this earlier. When do I do it? Okay, that drastically changes things. I need to do it so much earlier. But when do I... When do I load it? It has to occur way before pre-init. I need a plugin loader thing. Basically what I had with this. I need another IFML loading plugin. And then here is where I would change it to be different. I don't know why this said that it didn't exist, because it 100% does, but that could be from a variety of different things. So I need an IFML loading plugin. Does this have anything that I can use? Lots of package prefixes that will not be processed. Yeah, that's fine. Depends on. Well, I could just load it into this. Okay, so what I need now is I need to know the only difference is that this is not done here. This is still fine to have to detect whether or not I have Fermium booter to do that, but this cannot be done here. So I need a list of those things. Okay, I can have some kind of interface here. for like optional mix-ins or something. Because I want to be able to have a collection of them. I would need to obviously have that on a class not found thing as well. Okay, I have an idea. We have this, right? And then this is going to have a set. I don't want to do a mod integration thing here. I just need a list of... have this. Have a static block. And then add Thaumcraft here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a public static. At this point, we don't know what exists and what doesn't. So Registry API dot enqueue mixin. That's going to be true. The configuration is going to be string.format. And it's going to be the same thing that we had here. This thing. However, obviously this doesn't have this thing anymore, so we just put the ID there. And then the supplier will be... on integration kernel dot... No, this doesn't work either, right? Because this is before the mods are constructed. And obviously, if you try to mix in into a class that doesn't exist, you're gonna have problems. Maybe. This loads the mods, which is... So, Fermium boot is happening like right here. Well, it's specifically at the invocation. of where load controller transition right here. So do we have a list of mods at this point? Oh no, this is right here. It's probably right there. Or it's here. Disable requested mods, sort mod list, initialize loader. Initialize loader, this is where it actually... I don't know. Right there is where it identifies mods. So... then what? It does say ordinal 1, so I think it's the second call to it, which means I believe... Can't be done later since constructing mods loads classes from them. So it should be here, which means we should have the list of mods available and which mods are thing. We won't know which mods are like loaded because we won't have this is Trixie Doodle. We don't have this. We won't have this, but we will have something else. The loader will be initialized, and that mod list will be initialized. What does this mod container have? Get mod ID. We can get the mod list. Stream this. No. We're going to do loader dot get what's it called? Get mod list. This thing. Get mod list. Yeah, it exists. What do you mean? It's public too. Non-static method. Oh, loader dot instance dot get modlets. There we go. That works. And of that list, those are the lists of mods that we found. In that list, we filter out all of them that are in mod IDs. Right? And then we do a for each on that. Oh, wait, no, we need to map this first. Map mod container. Nope, 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 nope. Get mod ID. Filter if we contain it. And then for each one, this is the ID that then goes to this. What do you mean? Class not found exception is totally thrown. So we try to do Fermium. I feel like this is going to cause a problem. Because we're going to try and import it, and we're going to get a class not found exception right there. Maybe not. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. So at this point, we already know that it is there. So we don't even need to do that. We can just enqueue it to load. Do I want to have an additional thing here to not load it? Yeah, this is, Because the config should be loaded as well, so I should be able to check this at the same time. Which is good. Which is good. So, very, very, very good. Now, this needs to be a map. That maps this to a supplier of optional Mixin provider. And just to be safe, we're going to put the Thaumcraft ID, and we're going to have a Mixin provider thing. I don't want to go into the Thaumcraft integration class because then we're gonna have we're gonna have some problems. Optional Mixin provider. This is just gonna be a very simple class. It's just going to return integration IDs dot Thaumcraft ID, and this is going to return modconfig dot compat dot Thaumcraft dot enabled. That's all this is going to be. So we have this get mod ID. That contains key. Oh, and then do a .get on that, yeah. Refactor this to providers. And now we can have that. If I do this, what does this do? That's fully qualified class name. Okay, so that will this will actually work. Doing this allows me to do a class not found exception here. Perhaps something, I don't know. If I need to do reflection to like try and get it, I will, but I think for the most part we're probably fine. So now if it's enabled, then we will load it. And then we have this provider thing here, right? Include. So now from my DDD Mixin loader, I do optional mixin kernel dot enqueue mixins. Right, and hopefully what should happen is that it should enqueue these mixins by doing this. It'll get the mixin provider, and it will get the mixin, and then it will enqueue the mixin, and then we'll have it registered as enqueued. All right, okay, brilliant, awesome. Now this if it can't find it, it'll jump to here, and it won't enqueue mixins. But the main mod class isn't loaded, so that's fine. It's just the plugin, so I can't really log anything here. Okay, so now what I want to do is instead of I need Fermium booted integration. Now, if it's enabled and we don't have Fermium booter, it's still going to pop up this warning screen, but now it's not going to do this. Instead, what it's going to do is it's going to check if optional mixin kernel dot were mixins enqueued for this dot get mod ID. If they were not, Because this doesn't matter if the mixins were actually like loaded or whatever. It just cares that they were in queued. And this is just a sanity check in case I forget to create a thing for it. Then it's going to shout at me and be like, "Hey, buddy, you need a thing." So this is a crash that should never occur by the end user. This should only really occur by me, because otherwise the game just doesn't load without. And I know that I at least verify that the mod integration works, and so if the mod integration is functional, this should never ever happen. If the mod integration is incomplete, then this can happen. So now it should, now this should work. The enabled points to the same place, but that's fine. Because if we have Fermium booted but we don't want to do it, then it should still go through. It should still successfully load the integration, it just won't enable the integration. Very different thing. This is still fine, because we want to flag this as enabled and loaded, just so that this works. I think something like this. This makes sense. This is broken down here. This makes sense. So when this tries to load, it will enqueue the optional mixins. And if I don't have Fermium booter, I'm very curious what happens. Do I just get a straight class not found exception? Or does the game straight up crash? I don't know. So we're gonna have to figure that out. First up, turn off Fermium booter again and launch this. Hopefully it works. I did get... I did get a null pointer exception, but where was it? Oh yeah, in the DDD mixin loader. I need not class not found exception. I need no class def found error. Can I even catch that? Can I check if the class exists? The class cannot be located. Thrown in the Java virtual machine or class loader. Thrown if the JVM or the class loader instance tries to load in the definition of a class, and no definition of the class could be found. Yeah, so this is what I want. Okay, so that's good. We have that. I would like to catch that error. Because I don't... Normal operation of DDD should not require Fermium Booter to be there for it to not, like, spit error messages. I don't want DDD spitting error messages if Fermium Booter's not there. It's fine, it's just Fermium Booter's not there. So, that's the thing. I think if I change this to no class def found error, it should be fine. Because the first time it encounters that, it should jump to here, and then it should just keep going. We can do this, and then later, when I have access to my logger, I can then report whether or not Fermium Booter was present. Because if Fermium Booter was present, it should have been able to do that. Which means I don't need this, because I can just check here. This can just return optional mixin kernel dot was Fermium Booter present. If we detected Fermium Booter there, we don't need to enable it. We can just check that. And then go into the Thaumcraft, not that one. This. We don't need a get instance on it anymore. We arguably don't need it to be singleton anymore, because it doesn't matter. But just in case it does, we're going to leave it as a singleton. Because now this works because it checks to see if we had Fermium Booter present when we were doing this. Because if we had Fermium Booter present, we should not have jumped to this block. And if we jump to this block, we skip over this part here. This only gets set to true if we're able to do this. Now, if Thaumcraft isn't installed, but like Fermium is, it doesn't matter. I mean, if Thaumcraft isn't installed and Fermium isn't installed, then this shouldn't even attempt to do anything. Because it won't run these lines. So it should be fine. We can check that too. Optional mixing kernel dot was Fermium Booter present. We can do this. I guess I can just do that. If the Fermium Booter was present, then that means that everything loaded correctly. And that's a way I can check to make sure that that goes correctly. So, build this, right? Now load, what am I loading? Wait, I'm just doing the thing. That's what I'm doing. Delete this. Do this. Now load it again. Right. So what do I see here? What do I see here? I see nothing. I see nothing. Good. I should not see anything. Actually, wait. Dang it. It crashed. That's not what I should. Where did that happen? No class def found error. BLK. That was at load mods. Is this not working? I mean, if I caught a no class def found error, it should have spat it out there. Huh, why did it crash there? Is that a consistent crash? I sure as heck hope not. I mean, it sounds like it probably is. Yeah, it is. Um, it, it was all loaded. Is this the problem? I guess I could also. Oh, I have a different idea I could try that might actually work. This probably just technically works. Actually, if I get another crash here, I think I know what's going on. And I kind of hope I get another crash, because then I think I can fix it. Yes. Do I get the same thing? Yes, no class def found error. Okay. I get it. So, here's what we're going to do. One, we're going to uncomment this. Two, we're going to specify it by its fully qualified class name so that I can remove this import here, which means we try and find it this way, right? Then we do loader dot instance dot get mod list. This is going to be a list of mod containers. Container. Then check if No, map. Actually, no, this can just be a set of string for this. Here I do this mod list not set stream, map it to mod container, get mod ID, sure. Back to set. Now, I have a list of all the found mod IDs. Which means I can do mods.stream. And I can check if mods if we don't contain we don't contain the Fermium ID, we return straight up. So we get a list of all the mods. We check to see if we have the Fermium ID. If we don't have the Fermium ID, we get out of here. Otherwise, we reference it via its fully qualified class name, which means it's not going to have a problem up here with the imports of not being able to find the class. Probably, it would only have the problem here, which means fundamentally I probably don't need a try-catch block. Probably, because now I have checked. I have effectively checked if we have it. If it contains the Fermium booter ID. If it contains the Fermium booter ID, well, if it doesn't contain the Fermium booter ID, that means we don't have it, so we return, and we don't enqueue any additional mixins. Now, my concern actually is that at the point when this is loading, this still might not work. This probably will not work. And I think I know why. If this doesn't work, I know why. And if it doesn't work, it'll be because this is not actually like loaded or ready, or we don't have this mod list at this point in time. Because at this point, when the mods, when the thing's being enqueued, it doesn't have that list created yet. Because if it had that list created, then we would be fine. But we don't have that list created. I'm pretty sure we don't have it. Maybe we have that list created at this point. I kind of hope so. That list might not be populated yet, which means getting this list might be doing nothing for me. I really hope that's not the case. I mean, it didn't crash yet, but it might crash sooner. Yep. Same class def not found error? Yeah. That is a problem. I don't think we have this instance available yet. It happens where is it happening? It's happening at sort modulus, line 266. Okay, assume for a moment that we comment all of that out. Will we get past the problem then? With just these classes loaded, like this. Because this error doesn't fall back to anything it doesn't fall back to DDD code, which means somewhere along the way, DDD is having a problem. But I don't know what problem. Yeah, oh indeed. Something is not working the way it's supposed to. Okay, so if I do this, does the game load correctly, or do I crash for like a different reason or whatever? That's fine. I just want to crash for a different reason. Crash for a different reason. Come on, do it. I believe in you. Crash for a different reason. You can do it. It actually is going through it now. I think, right? Looks like. Yeah. Okay. So that code is problem. Why is this code problem? Forge exists at this point. The loader instance has to be initialized. The mod list has to be initialized. What class, no class def found error are you encountering? I am stumped right now. So this is a problem. Why? What is the problem with loading this? How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? Because it gives me an obfuscated class name. There's a thing for that, right? I had a thing for that somewhere. I swore I did. Wait, I saw that somewhere. Minecraft names. There we are. No, I need a deobfuscation thing. Let me look. Let me look. Let me look. This thing. This is probably what I want, because this is probably not what I was looking at before. Yeah. The MCP mapping viewer. There we go. That's what I want. Don't I have that? Yeah, I do. Okay, that thing's taking forever to load. Just load this thing. I should be able to find mapping version and get versions. Come on, please. I believe in you. Get the versions. Oh, you're joking. You're joking. Get the versions. Why is this here? That's interesting. Oh, because this counts as like Minecraft or whatever. That's interesting. Yeah, it timed out, so I can't get this. Alright. Alright, that's a problem. Okay, that's not helpful either. My theory is this is a problem. And that because that mod const thing has that, when I'm doing this and I'm doing this, I am loading. I need to put the raw ID here. Because when I load that class, it tries to load Minecraft classes, which can't do. So don't do that. Which means these can't reference the stuff. Let me see if this works. This idea makes sense in my head. Because it's saying it can't find a class, and it's giving me an obfuscated class name, and if it's giving me an obfuscated class name, my theory is that it's trying to load a Minecraft class, but it can't load a Minecraft class right now. And the only spots I see Minecraft classes being loaded would be if it did that, because it needs to load that stuff, so. That should, in theory, I really hope. This was not supposed to be a scuffed journey like this. This was supposed to be a functional journey, a journey that worked. But alas, here we are. Please work. And that's why DDD code isn't being referenced, because it's just like when I'm loading the class. You could say it's in the static initializer block for that class, but I don't know. This seems better, because now everything in that class is localized to like just it. More or less, besides the other things that are like supposed to provide its strings and stuff like that. This should work now. Dang it. The same problem. How do I know? Clearly something here is not okay. One second. I am not sure, but this is something that I'm gonna have to deal with later. It no worky. Oh well. How do I even? How do I even? I don't know. I probably don't. I might have to do some asking around because this is like, it's just that this is not a good way to do this, clearly. But I would. I should be able to go over a list of the mods that are there because it can go over a list of mods that are there in the crash report. In the crash report, it can list all the mods that are loaded. So something doesn't like this. And I don't know when, where, or why. And it's not this. It's this. Mod config should not care about anything Minecraft related. Yes, it doesn't. Okay. Huh. My theory is that this is still not going to work. Unless I do this. Then only when we're here do we do that and we get that. I don't know. I'm not really confident that that's going to work. I'll try this one last thing. If this manages to work, okay, cool. If not, I don't know. If not, I'm clearly doing something wrong. That's for sure. So that's lovely. Somehow that crashed even faster. But it crashed for the exact same reason. Why? I'm starting to have the suspicion that I'm doing something incredibly wrong here. Lovely. All right. That's enough of that then. There has to be a way to get a list of the mods that are loaded without having all this problem. I don't know if it's what I'm doing. One way to do it is to very slowly do, like, one thing at a time. Like, just check. If I do loader.instance, does that crash? If I do loader.instance, like, get mod list, does that crash? If I go up to here, does that crash? Right? Like, it's probably just calling the loader at this point. Because the loader probably doesn't have the thing. In fact, I'm actually very confident that it's just doing that. Just doing that might cause a whole bunch of like Minecraft classes to try to be loaded or something, and it doesn't work. Or maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. Okay, so you will return. All right. I don't know if I will still be here. Maybe. I guess so. Yeah, fair. Yeah, okay, load this. Load this. And you crashed the exact same way. Which means, yeah, it's calling the loader. That's the problem. It's literally just doing this. It's literally just doing that. That's the problem. So this should be fine. Integration IDs dot Thumbcraft ID. Like, that should be fine. I think. I don't think that's actually the problem. I think the problem is I'm just doing this wrong. Okie dokie. Well, I will be back because this is enough of that. So, I see I have done this incorrectly. Oh, you know what? Oh, I have big brain idea. I have big brain idea. There we go. We add a check for the mod's existence in the supplier here. We add a check there. I'm not doing it now, but I'm putting it there. Okay. Now I'm going to take a pause. Alright? Because I'm done. I am done with this for now. So I'm going to close this, yeah. Not needed. Be gone. Alright. I'm gonna throw up a quick BRB or whatever. I will be back. And we will take a look at stuff. I'm going to get some food. I'm going to do a whole bunch of other stuff. So, y'all stay tuned. I will be back.